Welcome, everyone. We're so excited that everyone is here. And my name is Bien, for those of you who don't know me. My friends here, Pinhan, Claire, Fiona, we are happy to bring this session to you. Claire has been our teacher. And quickly, she wanted me to say how I met everyone. So, well, Jen is my friend who's here. She said, Bien, you have to take this workshop in Hong Kong. And I finally did, and it was taught by Claire, and it was about the energy of trees. And Pinhan was staff at the Kaduri Farm and Botanic Gardens. And that's how I met Pinhan when she was staff there. She was actually helping to facilitate the workshop with Claire. And Fiona, I met in Singapore later on. And she's become a very good friend. She attended Claire's workshop. And so now let's introduce ourselves. Just Pinhan, Claire, Fiona. Claire first. Yes.
So yes, I'm from France, but I've been living a lot of time, a lot of years in tropical countries. And I love nature, and it's an essential for me. And for me, nature is divine. I cannot dissociate, my spirituality from nature. It comes together. And I've been a scientist, a forest ecologist, but also directing a project with people. On a humanitarian basis. And also giving workshops on connecting with nature and connecting with ourselves through nature, through the qualities of nature. For some time in France, in India, and in different countries of Asia. And I'm very happy to be with you today.
Thank you, Claire. Pinhan, how about you?
Yes, thank you, Bian and Claire and Fiona. Yes, I'm Pinhan, and I'm stationed in Hong Kong. Original from Taiwan, but I have been living in Hong Kong for 11 years now. So Hong Kong is more like my second home now. And then, yes, I met Claire 2011, which is 11 years ago, and studied with Claire. So doesn't feel that long, but during this journey, the 11 years of journey, I have learned and gained a lot of inspirations from Claire, as well with being in nature. And I always be interested in, body, mind, spirit, meditation, and holistic health. And I have noticed a great impact by being in nature and experience and be more aware the healing powers of nature helps me to be more grounded, to be more at the present, and to be able to serve more people in my ability. So now I also start offering workshops like healing with nature workshops, meditation workshops. I also collaborate with Claire and other facilitators to run training course in Hong Kong. So I guess that's it.
Thank you.
Shall we pass it to Fiona?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm just like every one of you, very curious about life and on this personal journey to answer the question who I really am and what I'm here to do. So I'm a Feldenkrais practitioner, and I also teach movement. And I know Claire, Bien, and Pinhan from the Energy of Trees workshops. And I've been really very blessed to have connected with them and learned so much from them. So I'm very, very happy that all of you are here to be here with us. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Right now, I would like to start with a very brief meditation. So I would like all of us just to sit comfortably and close your eyes and bring your awareness to your heart and to your breathing. So let's take a deep breath in and out. Another one, in and out. And feel your heart beating if you can. Feel your heart opening. Let there be light shining into your heart, filling your heart with warmth, with light. This light is soft and glowing. You can imagine it sparkling here and there with different colors. Maybe it can be golden. It might have silvery streams or a color to it. But fill your heart with this beautiful light. Let your heart open. Let your heart expand. Feel your heart opening, expanding just a little bit. And this light is overflowing into your body from your heart. It's filling up your whole chest. It's filling up your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your fingers, your head. The light is spilling out into your torso and your stomach, your hips, flowing down to your legs and to your toes. Enjoy this warmth filling you up from your heart. Let me now read A Wish for Peace by Satish Kumar. Lead me from death to life, from falsehood to truth. Lead me from despair to hope, from fear to trust. Lead me from hate to love, from war to peace. Let peace fill our heart, our world, our universe. Let us all be filled with peace. When you are ready, you can open your eyes. Enjoy the feeling of this peace in your heart. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And Claire, maybe you have a few words about how this workshop came about, how this session tonight.
Yes. Thank you, Bian. Thank you. Beautiful opening, beautiful meditation. So yes, well, one morning I woke up and I had a message, I would say, from the universe. And this message, you know, sometimes I need a little bit of a kick. So this message say, you stop hiding behind your shyness. Okay. And then it told me that I should, you know, set up a kind of online event with the participants, the previous participants of the workshop and their friends and families, whoever wants to join this event, so that we are together. We are together to talk about some qualities of nature that inspire, and also how we connect with these qualities and how we deal in our life with some fears, some anxieties, some negativities that can come up, some challenges, and how we deal to turn that into positiveness or to be dealing with it in a positive way, you know, connecting with different qualities of nature, as I said. And so what came to me, the message that came to me is that you have to set up an event, online event with everyone who wants to join, so that we can talk about our tricks. We can share our tricks. We can, you know, exchange our tricks so that we build up a more and more positive attitude and this makes that we are strengthening an egregore. An egregore is a spiritual community. And so we are strengthening an egregore of light. So in this way, you know, we are participating into the global egregore of the planet, the egregore of light of the planet. You know, so it will lighten us and it will lighten the planet. So this is at our level, you know, we can contribute to that. And so he told me, do that. Stop hiding, stop telling yourself that the workshops are enough. Go ahead, and then have this event and have it with Bian, Pinhan, and Fiona, the four of us. So it was very clear, and it was a very clear message. It was almost an order that I got, and that's what pushed me. Okay, I cannot disobey such an order. And so I contacted Bian, Pinhan, and Fiona and explained them that, and we were all very enthusiastic about that. Or that's what I understood. So we started to work on that, and we decided to set up the event for today. So what we are going to do is to be as spontaneous as possible. Okay, we are going to talk about a few qualities, about a few things, but also, and share how we do that, share our experience, and invite you also to participate, to exchange, you know, your tricks with us. And these tricks can be adopted as such, or can be, you know, adapted to your own life, to your own personality. But what's important is that at the end, we get more and more tools to be in the light, to be more and more, to be lighter, to be more and more positive, to be more and more elevated, highlighted. Yes, that's the purpose of this online event with you all. Yes.
Great. Thank you, Claire. So there are a few topics that Claire had listed down that she wanted to talk about. So Claire, why don't you go ahead and start with what you have to say?
Okay, so well, the first thing is talking about fear and anxiety. Now, why? Because we are going to, the purpose is to exchange our tools to deal with fear and anxiety. So fear, what is fear? Well, fear can be real or mind-induced, and it's connecting us with our sense of survival. So you know that, you all know that, you have heard it. For those who took my workshop, we have heard it. But when it is real, it's because, you know, it can keep us alive. Okay, we have the sense of survival, the flight, or freeze. But when it is irreal, it is blocking the flow of energy inside of us. And it is preventing us to enjoy life, to be light, to be connecting with our joy of being. It's preventing a lot of things, and it's even putting us down. So it's also preventing us to be in the present, to enjoy the present moment. And that's something also that is blocking the discernment and the intuition. So fear is basically, the basic fear is positive because it's keeping us alive, but it's only 8% of our anxieties and fears that are based on real threat. So 82% is mind, is coming from the mind, is invented. It's something that we project in our life, but it's not real. So we can work on this 82%. And the problem is that fear is affecting the body, the mind, and the spirit, you know, at the 3 levels. So everything is blocked, and it's also blocking or decreasing the immunity system. So when we are afraid of a disease, you know, we have more chance to catch it because the immunity system is depressed. And then we are thinking in a chaotic way, so we are not able to discriminate or to discern the reality of life. And the elements and their energy as blocked within us. And we are completely, you know, disconnected with our life. We are disconnected from the universe and its energy. So that's what's happening with the fear and anxiety. But as we all know, it can be counteracted with positive energy. And we can ask ourselves, is this threat real? And that's when we start connecting with our intuition and discrimination or discernment. And we can ask also ourselves, where does it come from? You know, for example, many people are afraid from spiders. Where does it come from? Very often it's coming from the mother or the father or the brother, I mean, whoever, someone in the family. And it's something that is, you know, coming down. It's almost inherited as a family trait. So we can work on many things. We can work on this 82% and use rituals to turn this, to decrease the fear and anxiety and connect with positiveness. So that's the thing that we want to work on and to share in now. Pinhan, would you like to share an experience about that?
Yes, sure. About the fear, how it creates. Actually, personally, I often, before the COVID, often go to Thailand to practice Vipassana meditation. And there was one very memorable experience was that our teacher, the Thai monks, took us to the mountains and we do the forest retreat there. And then at the end of the retreat, and the monk was telling us a story how traditionally the monks were trained, you know, to overcome their fear and, you know, how to more be observed of how our mind will, you know, creating and working to understand more about our mind. So he proposed that he will, for people who are willing to do so, he will bring us to individually to put us in a place in the forest in the evening, like 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then just by us, actually was afraid of darkness. But then I thought, okay, this is the purpose why I came to the retreat. So then I raised my hand, okay, I wanted to do that. And so at the time, the teacher and took me to a small tent, really small tent, just to prevent me to get bitten by the mosquitoes. And he just say, okay, you just stay here for meditate 2 hours to 3 hours. I will be checking on you, but I will not be here. It's a safe spot. You can just meditate. So as soon as the monk left, and then my mind was starting to create all different thoughts, the ghost, the darkness, and maybe like Claire was saying, a spider, would there be a snake in the evening or something like that? And so just so many thoughts came to me very strongly. But it is also a great way to practice, to see how our mind creating all those thoughts are not real, and how much fear we create inside our heart and reacted to our body, maybe shaking a little bit, you know, and trembling a little bit. And it just in that 2-3 hours, it helped me to see more clearly how our mind was creating stories and how our body and emotions got affected from it. And so that is a very great way to break the fear. I'm not suggesting everyone do the same, but in a way, by practicing meditation can also help us to be more aware of where the fear comes from. Are they real? And how they affect us. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bin Han.
Thank you.
Maybe I can also just say that we're opening this up to everyone who wants to share just what they have found to be useful to them, certain tools. As Claire said, we are trying to put more tools into our toolbox to help us cope with difficulties in life. Yeah, so we'll try to make this as interactive as possible. So please don't be shy. Thank you. Okay, Claire, carry on.
Yes, I would like to invite you, Bian, to share how you deal with fear.
Okay, fear. Okay, it's interesting because just this morning, I had a Zoom with a friend, and she was going through a very hard time because she was very angry at her former colleagues and bosses who she felt treated them very badly, treated her very badly, and she was just very emotional. And I said, sometimes you just have to sit with the fear and said, hello, fear, I know you're there and you want to come and disturb me and kacau me and you know, make me emotional. And I said, okay, maybe just for a few minutes, but not all the time. And I know you're there. And I told my friend that sometimes you need to have a relationship with the fear, almost to the extent of slowly becoming friends with it, becoming familiar with it, and say, okay, maybe you can sit with me. I don't like you to sit so close, but don't sit too close, but I know you're there. And, you know, I'll hold you at this distance and you just stay there and don't come so close. So I think that sometimes it's useful to personify this and to be able to talk to it, to say, please don't come so close, or not right now. I'm busy. I've got things I need to take care of. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's helped me before when I've had a lot of grief or a lot of worries, and it becomes a person. It says, you know, it becomes a person who's with me a lot of the time. And then I can just say, okay, it's all right. I can see you there. You sit there, but don't come too close. You can talk to it and tell it what you want it to do and be in control. So anyway, I found that to be useful. I hope it is useful for you too.
It's nice. I like it. I like the way you say it. Accept that it's part of you, but don't surrender to it. It's just part of you. You don't surrender. You're still yourself. You are bigger than that.
Yes.
But still, you don't deny it, because if you deny it, it's still hiding in the corner.
Yes.
But if you accept it, okay, you're here, but I'm bigger than you. And I can deal with that. Yeah, it's faith, it's positive, it's courageous, and it's really it's bringing us even the quality of resilience. Right. That's I mean that's that's the inspiration that I get from your sharing. Thanks.
Ewan also shares, when fear comes out, aware breathe will be helpful to overcome it. So she typed in the chat room. So I just read it out.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, breathing. Oh, you know, when we are angry, we are anxious, we are you know, getting negative. Breathing is always lightening, you know, the emotion. It's giving air to the emotion, and that's really nice. That's nice. Yes. So I want to share just a part of one of one beautiful experience that I had with Fiona when she came to France. But I will share just one part of it, because I was facing a very aggressive person, and I was waiting for Fiona at the train station, and then there was one guy who barged in, and then he was very aggressive. And usually I don't deal with those people, but for some reason I told him something, and then he started to be aggressive. And I was very calm at first, when I told him, when I started talking to him. But then at one point, his eyes were so so dark. I mean, looking at me with they were conveying a lot of aggressiveness, that I starting, to doubt myself, to be having a little bit of fear facing this guy, this aggressive guy. And then what came to me was, don't give in to fear. And that was a message from, the inner voice, the voice of the universe, a message that was telling me, have faith in yourself, don't give in to fear. And then straight away, the fear that was coming up disappear. So from this, what I got is that we have to trust. We have to trust our power that Bien was talking about, and we have to trust that we are protected. We have this, this protection through our spirituality. We have this yes, this because we are in the right, then we are protected. There's no fear to have about anything. Yeah.
When I was standing there watching Claire and that man who actually stole my phone, and Claire didn't know that he stole my phone. She just thought that it was rude of him to push against me as I was leaving the gate. I also had a fear in me, because I saw the man putting his hand in his pocket, not sure whether he had a knife or anything. But Claire just stood there and just watching her in her groundedness and stability, look and say things in a very clear and steady way, grounded way. And it was amazing to watch that man just back away. Yeah.
Wow.
And he returned your phone.
Yes, he returned my phone.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, when I feel fear, and now I have a practice that it sounds a bit silly, so I wasn't sure whether I was going to share it, but I shared it with Pinhan, Claire, and Bien. And it's I don't know when I started this, when I was young. I have a practice to make a sound to break the thought flow. So when I have a thought, let's say, oh, I think, she's saying something, or she probably doesn't like me, or maybe I'm not wearing the right thing. And then I'll go, or I'll go, hum. And somehow that has worked for me time and again, just to catch myself and break that momentum of that thought. And somehow it always works for me. So maybe in sharing this, it might work for you. And Claire said she tried it this morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not about fear, but I was starting to have some some silly thoughts, and not very positive thoughts. And then I thought of your share. I mean, what you said, and then I said, "Ta-da!" And then boop, everything vanished. I mean, it was like those silly thoughts disappeared. They just vanished, and I got back. I laughed, ta-da, and then everything was fine again. Yeah, that was wonderful.
And I was also thinking, why does it work? And there must be some science behind it, because I'm breaking it's a vibration. Sound is a vibration.
Yeah.
And I'm disrupting something within myself. So coming back to my body and hearing a sound that I create. So that's something that I do. Sometimes most of the time fear is irrational. And as they say, when you want that feeling to go away, the darkness to go away, just have to turn on the light or look somewhere else, not try to chase the darkness away.
Yes, we also have some sharing from the chat room. So I wonder, Bian, if you could help to read out.
Yes.
Thank you.
Someone mentioned about finding out the cause of I think it's Steph Chung, to recognize the cause of the fear. So trying to shine the light of I guess, awareness onto the fear to find out whether it's real or not in the first place, and to see whether you need to do something about it. So that's a really nice, a good tool as well. And then someone else with a Chinese name, I'm sorry, I can't read Chinese, but she says, or he says, I have a sketchbook with me. I would paint out my fear to make it visible and specific. That helps me a lot. So yeah, I think sketching and also maybe journaling, which is a verbal form of sketching, can help you to solidify your feelings about the fear.
In relation to this, I have one more thing to add. Besides the sketchbook, I also imagine and feel it to experience where that sensation is in my body in that moment of fear. And I give it a color, a shape, and a form, and watch it, and it kind of changes, and all of a sudden it changes into a lighter color. And I think it's about making that fear visible and specific, and that also helps me.
Great. And lastly, Chris has put in the chat box, I once tried to tell a tree friend about my fear, and a gentle breeze brushed softly by the branches and the leaves. I feel lifted, blessed, and more relieved. Yes, nature really helps us in that way.
Yes, and also Winnie mentioned mantra and positive affirmation helps her as well to overcome the fear.
Great. Claire, is there any more? If not, there's other topics that you wanted to share.
Yes, I mean this brings us to positive thinking, and actually positive thinking is making a choice. We make a choice to look at the positive things. It doesn't mean that we don't know that negative things are existing, challenges, etc. We don't deny them, but we make a conscious choice to look at the positive things in one situation, or to look at the positive, what will come out of the challenge. And this helps, to really deal with it in a fruitful way. Because if we look at it in a positive way, then we'll get something out of it. We won't be stuck in whatever happens. And we can also connect with positive qualities. We make the choice, and then we say, okay, I'm going to deal with that. And for example, I mean, this sanitary crisis made that I was stuck in France. And stuck. I would say that I could have lamented myself, oh, I'm stuck in France. But actually, I say, okay, I accept it. And this gives me an opportunity to be more in my garden, to be more connected with my garden. That is my basis, my basis of life. And the second thing is, well, by giving the online sessions, I mean, I'm getting a little bit more out of my shyness, and more essentially out of my comfort zone. I had to really connect with my creativity, with everything that I could connect with to bring in life these online workshops. So yeah, looking at the situation in a positive way makes that we are connecting with our power, our inner power that is expressing in all different ways and expressing our qualities, our own qualities that sometimes we shut off because we don't use or we don't connect with much because we are in the flow of life, and the flow of life is quite fast. So that's something that is also quite interesting. I mean, quite good when we have a positive thinking. It's also, it's also making us changing our glasses. Okay, I take new glasses, and those new glasses are positive thinking, positive connecting with qualities that I want to develop because they are the ones supporting me in this challenge or in this this particularly phase of life. So that's something that we can do, and it's a practice. It's a practice, and I would say that I would give an example. I was one day I was putting up a metal shelf in my garden shelter, and I was a bit tired. It was the end of the day, so I was a bit clumsy. And at one point, one of the poles fell. I mean, I had not fixed it yet, so it fell and it hurt my face, and a part of it hurt the upper part of the eye, and the side, the other part hurt my side. So I touched it. I felt a little bit of blood, but the first thought that came to me was, thank God, it didn't. My eye is safe. It didn't hurt my eye. So it was the first thought that I got was a thought of gratitude. And although it was painful, I didn't feel much the pain because I was still basking in this gratitude, this all the yes, I'm protected. That's what came to me. And that's something that, yes, the more we have this positive thinking, these conscious choices of choosing the positiveness, the easier it is to connect with when we are facing challenges or having an accident, etc. So that's something that I believe it's a kind of action reaction. We get the fruits of our practice, and that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Claire. Janice shared, when I feel fear and anxiety, I normally take some time to work on my plants in my garden. That normally calms me down, and after a while, I am usually in a better position to handle the situation. Yes, Janice is the
Absolutely.
person. Janice, you are the one who told me about Claire's workshops in the first place. Thank you. Thanks for that. It's changed my
Yes,
life. Yes.
Yeah, and I think Jenny's point is really great because it helps to bring to the next point Claire would like to share, which is so important about grounding.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes. Yeah, connecting with the grounding. The grounding, the connection with the soil is very essential, and that's something that's bringing us back in the present. And that's you sharing, Janice. You are planting, you are dealing with your plant and connecting with the soil, then you are fully with them. And that's being in the present. And then, things dissolve, fear dissolve, because fear comes from traumas in the past. I don't want it to happen again, or I'm afraid of that, or something that, as we said at the beginning, 82% of our fears are mind-invented, mind-made. So we are afraid of that. But when we are connected, when we are grounded, connected with the soil, we are in the present, and in the present there's no fear. Everything is perfect in the present. Yeah, that's something that. Thank you for your sharing. And we are more stable, of course. I mean, Fiona was mentioning that when I was dealing with this aggressive man, Fiona felt the stability that I had. And yes, we are more stable when we are grounded, and we are more able to deal with whatever happens. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's,
What I learned also from Claire is that just how to be a tree, and when I want to be grounded, I straight away think of this exercise, and now it comes very fast for me, where I visualize roots growing out from my feet. I think those of you who have taken Claire's workshops will know this exercise. And now when I think of it, the roots appear as if by magic all at once, and they're very strong and they're very deep. And so they connect me to this, the earth. And the earth is the basis and foundation that supports us. So it is stability and security. I'm secure also. So I'm held in nature. And I think Janice also probably felt that with her plants when she goes out gardening. All of us do. We feel cradled by nature. So that's one tool that I like to use, is just visualizing the roots growing out from my feet and going very deep and connecting me. And I did this once last year at the solstice, June solstice. And I was in a park area and my roots were growing very deep. And I realized that they were actually connecting to all the trees around in the park, the roots of the other trees. And so I was like connecting visually to the trees with my eyes, with my heart, and with my feet, my roots. So that was like a super boost of security and being part of nature. That was really nice. So I highly recommend this grounding. If you, any way you can use to ground, even crystals and stones can be used. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Gail, one of our friends, also share. Even now, when she think of roots growing out of her feet, she can feel my soul's warming up.
Her souls. Yeah,
great.
beautiful. That means she's getting a lot of energy from the soil. Yeah. We are talking about trees, and I'm always encouraging everyone to have a companion tree, a tree that we are developing a particular special relationship with. And that's very important. I mean, it becomes, for me, my tree is an essential part of my life now. And I know that wherever I am on the planet, I connect with it, and it's sending me stability. It's sending me, I mean, many things, and energy. I can get energy from 1,000 kilometers away from the tree. And that's, trees are a very beautiful example of stability and grounding and being in the present. And I remember last autumn, we had the strong winds, of course, not as strong as a typhoon, but it was still strong for France. And there was a lot of noise, so I couldn't sleep. So I came out of the house and I looked at the trees, and the trees were moving, woo, 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 woo. And you know, they were kind of what's beautiful to look at is that we see the trees, they are going up to a special point where they meet the branches of the other tree beside them, and this stops them, and then they go back. So it's a kind of community, you know, it's a community of trees that is working together. But then I turned and I look at my tree. My tree is a beautiful oak tree that is huge. It's 250 years old.
Is that what you have? Sorry, Claire.
Yes.
What you have?
Yes, that's the one on my background. Yes, and the tree was not moving. It was stable. It was telling me it's okay, no problem. And only the tip of the branches were moving a bit, you know, with the wind. But it was a real figure of stability and strength, and yeah. Fine. Wow. I'm fine, and everything is fine. It's just nature manifesting in a different way. Of course, you know, I'm talking about 90 kilometers winds. I mean, when it's a typhoon, it may be something different, but still, nature copes with it. Nature shows resilience. Yeah, with that.
Oh, yeah. Pinhan and I also have our trees as our background. And I think Fiona will try to do it, but wasn't able to today. There was some glitch in the, yeah. Her computer didn't allow her to use the background. But yeah, we all have our companion trees that we connect to for stability, for grounding, for healing. I want to address very quickly Leland about stones and crystals. And yes, stones and crystals are also part of nature, and they have certain energies also, just like the trees. They are also alive in a way. And they emit an energy, and different colors and different kinds of crystals will have different properties. The ones for grounding and security are usually the darker colored ones, things like black tourmaline or smoky quartz. And they are used to usually repel negative energies or transform negative into positive. And they're protecting and they're grounding. So just find any dark colored stone for this purpose. There's a lot of information on the internet, so you can look it up as well. Or you can, yeah, even on Facebook, and there are groups of people.
I have one Beyond gave me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always giving people stones.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, and Claire as well. Claire also has used a lot of stones and crystals in helping friends as well. But Claire, I'm thinking now we're getting on with time. So did you want to do the exercise, or would you like to continue?
Before doing the exercise, I would like to get on with joy of being, because I believe this quality is very, very important.
Of course, sure.
And why? Because joy of being comes with us when we are born. Whether we are connecting with it or not, we have it inside of us. And joy of being is what makes us go on with life. And that's something. Yes, I'm happy to be on this planet. I'm happy to be living this life. You know, there's always something. I mean, when we look at our life, we can always see little miracles, beautiful things that are developing, and that's fueling our joy of being, and that's beautiful. And that's the joy that children have. You know, children, they have a spontaneous joy, they have spontaneous liking for doing things in life, and that's joy of being. They are happy, they know what they came to for, and when they are very small, they're still aware of it. And after that, of course, we start forgetting, we start getting on with life. But what's important to know is that it's within us, deep inside, and we can always connect with it when we want to. And joy of being, it's also a tremendous force that is burning all negativities. When we connect with it, everything is, you know, burn. All the negativities that we are, body, mind, and spirit, are burned by joy of being, because that's fundamentally what we are, you know, why we are here, is to express, to be connected with this joy of being, and to go through all the challenges. But the challenges in the, yes, that's my life, and I'm happy to have it. Yes. And that's when we practice connecting with the joy of being, you know, it's turning every day into something that is full of surprises. It's connecting us with our sense of wonder. I mean, I remember when my niece was a small child of 4 years old. She took out a dandelion, you know, a dandelion that was in full seeds. So beautiful, beautiful. And she was so astonished. So I mean, she was finding that it was such a marvel, you know, that she jumped up and down with it. She jumped up and down, you know, expressing her joy. This is a wonder. This is a wonder. And what was funny is that when she jumped up and down, all the seeds started to go away, and that's well, she made the disseminator. She participated into nature's dissemination. But what was, I mean, what I remember, and it's more than 30 years ago that this thing happened. I still remember it because I felt the sense of wonder of this child, and that's something that nothing can. I mean, there's no value to it. Nothing can replace the sense of wonder that we can have, you know, at life, at looking at things, at being with people, etc. in life. So the joy of being is something that for me is very essential. And how I connect with it. One of the things that I do is that in the morning I meditate, and after I do my prayer, and I always end my prayer by thank you for the day ahead, and may I offer the best of myself. And this sentence always brings me a smile. Whatever happens, whether I'm moody, whether I'm tired or what, this always brings me a smile. That's I don't know. I mean, that's makes me connected with my joy. Oh, I'm going to offer the best of myself. Yes, during the day. I mean, I don't know what comes from that, but it's something that definitely connects me with my joy of being. Yeah.
Yeah, I have something to add too. I've just gotten through teaching a plant identification course, and I would bring a lot of specimens into class. And oftentimes I'm just like, oh my gosh, these are so beautiful. It's such a shame to cut them and to bring them to class. But then when I also share that with the class, and you know, we look at the flowers and the leaves, and then they also start to say, oh my gosh, these are really quite nice when they actually examine them. So that's also kind of like being a child again. And you know, you pass these, you see these trees and these plants and in the landscape all the time, but you seldom take time to really examine them. And when you do, they are just so beautiful. The buds, the coiled leaves of ferns, and just the beauty, the geometry in them, the veins are beautiful. And just now someone asked about the crystals and all that. So that's the same thing. You can connect to that beauty as well. You admire the colors and the shapes of the crystals. And that also is a sense of wonder, a sense of being a child again. And that's the joy as well, the joy of the beauty in nature. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Claire, would you like to continue or go on to your exercise?
Maybe we can go with the exercise. I'm proposing you an exercise to connect with the light, with yourself, and the beautiful light that is in our heart.